It was a gray morning inside the prison walls. The air was heavy and the sound of metal doors echoed through the halls. For most, it was just another day, but for one man, it was his last. John Miller had spent the past 12 years on death row. His crimes, his trial, his appeals, all of it had led to this final moment. Whether people thought he was guilty or not no longer mattered. The courts had spoken. His execution was scheduled for that evening. Yet despite everything, the anger from the public, the silence from his family, and the years of isolation, John carried one final request. He didn't ask for a special meal. He didn't ask for a priest. He didn't even ask for mercy. His last wish was simple. He wanted to see his son. John's son Michael had been only 8 years old when his father was arrested. For more than a decade, John had not seen him, not in person, not even in photographs. Michael had grown up without his father, carrying the weight of shame and unanswered questions. When John made his last wish known, many doubted it would happen. The boy had refused every letter, ignored every quill, and stayed away from the prison walls for years. When against all odds, Michael agreed. On the morning of the execution, as the prison guards escorted John into the visitation room one last time, he trembled. For a man who had spent years waiting to die, nothing scared him more than this moment facing his son. The door opened. A young man walked in, tall, nervous, carrying a storm of emotions in his eyes. It was Michael. John's voice cracked. "You came." Michael didn't answer at first. He just stared at the man who was once his father, the man who had missed birthdays, graduations, and all the small moments in between. Finally, he whispered, "Why now? Why only now?" Tears welled in John's eyes. "Because it's all I have left. One chance to tell you I am sorry. One chance to tell you that no matter what I did, I never stopped loving you." For the next hour, father and son spoke through tears, anger, and silence. John confessed his regrets, his mistakes, and the weight of every day behind bars. Michael listened, not ready to forgive, but unable to walk away. At one point, Michael asked, "Were you guilty, Dad? Did you really do it?" John lowered his head. "I made choices that destroyed lives. I can't change that, but what matters now is you. Don't let my shadow follow you. Be better than me. Live free." As the visit drew to an end, guards reminded John that his time was up. Michael stood conflicted. Then something unexpected happened. Michael reached into his pocket, pulling out a small folded photo, one taken years ago, the last time they had been together. He slid it across the table. "I kept this," he said softly. "Even when I hated you, I couldn't throw it away." John picked it up with shaking hands, his eyes filled with tears. For him, it wasn't just a photo. It was proof that somewhere deep down, his son had never truly forgotten him. At that moment, John broke down completely, not because of fear of death, but because he finally felt forgiven, even if only a little. Later that evening, as John was escorted to the chamber, the photo remained tucked in his pocket. Witnesses described him as calm, even peaceful. For the first time in years, he wasn't carrying bitterness or despair. He carried the memory of his son's face, not as the child he had left behind, but as the man he had finally met again. When asked for his final words, John looked through the glass where Michael now stood watching. "I don't deserve your forgiveness," John said, "but thank you for giving me this moment. My last breath belongs to my son." And with that, it was over. Michael walked out of the prison in silence that night, the weight of what he had seen pressing on his heart. But something inside him had shifted. He hadn't planned to forgive. He hadn't planned to feel anything but anger. Yet in those final minutes, he had seen the broken man his father had become, and maybe, just maybe, a glimpse of the father he had once loved. The memory of that last meeting stayed with him forever, not as a scar, but as a reminder that even in the darkest places, sometimes love finds a way back. And that was the story of a father's final wish to see his son one last time. It's a reminder that no matter how broken life becomes, family ties can never truly be erased. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more powerful real-life stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss one. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Michael's place?